What y'all want to talk about today? A lot of stuff to talk about. All right, the Oregon series. I've been here 15 years, I think. We have been to the West Coast and played a Pac-12 team in their house twice, where they've had the home field advantage. Arizona back in 2002, and then UCLA in the 2010 regional. Both times those teams were top 5 in the country. When we went in 2002, we had Brooke Mitchell back when, and they spanked us. I mean, they ruled us all 3 games, 15-0, 15-0, 15-0. We got no. I mean, it was just ugly. Then we went to UCLA in 2010. They beat the hell out of us. It was just, we couldn't do anything to create any momentum. And then going into the Oregon series, I think we understood what the challenge is in front of us to be able to go in their house and to be able to compete against them. They're number 1 in the country. It's now Oregon who is the cream of the Pac-10, Pac-12. Game 1 reminded me of Arizona, UCLA. Just non-competitive. Our kids did not feel comfortable in that environment and on that stage. Just a different mindset. Just very non-competitive. Non-competitive on the mound. Non-competitive at the plate. Just not comfortable. We just weren't comfortable. In game 2, we talked about this last time we were in here. We get the 2 runs in only 5 innings, by the way. We didn't play a 7-inning game. We played 5 innings against the All-American. We get the 2 solo home runs. Good enough to win offensively, but still non-competitive in the circle. 7 walks, 8 walks, hitting batters, giving up runs. No shot. And then game 3, man, I'm so proud of that team. So proud of those kids. So proud of them changing that mindset from in what, 24 hours? And not win, say, oh, there's no moral victories. Should have won. Why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? Man, I'm proud of how those kids played, how they competed, how they changed their mindset, how they showed up and went after them. Jordan Wallace, that's good stuff, man. To be that bad the night before and then to be that good. Shelley, the way we competed, the way we played. Yeah, do you want to win? Yeah, I want to win. And disappointed, that's the wrong word. And disappointment is the wrong word. And the reason why it's the wrong word is because these kids' attitudes and their effort and their desire, their work ethic, the way they care for each other, the way they fight, the way that they take risk is off the charts. I love this team. I love this team. And if we want to nitpick the game, I'm good with that. If we want to cast blame, put it on me. I take full responsibility. This team is good. This team has character. That's what that proved to me. And hopefully, like last year, Oklahoma came in here and we roughed them up, and they got to see us again a month later, and then they got the last laugh. So hopefully we get ready to go out to practice and go learn some lessons and go figure out what we got to do to get a little better, and then we're going to see them again. I just feel it in my bones, and let's get after it. Monroe's going to be a war. I know that. Everybody thinks we're just going to go down there and take care of them, and no. It's going to be a crazy series, and we better be focused, and we better be ready to go, because we're going to get their best shot, and we better be able to give them our best. Anything else that I missed?
Coach, do you have more or less or the same amount, same idea of what you would do pitching staff-wise, like if you were playing a super regional this week after the Oregon, going into a 3-game series a weekend, your pitching staff, did you have a better idea, a more clear idea, or the same idea after the Oregon series?
Well, it's not. We don't have to make that decision right now. Alex got exposed, and because she's a younger pitcher, let's see what she's going to do over the next month. I just tell you the story about Brooke Mitchell. That experience for Brooke Mitchell made her into an All-American. So she took that lesson, that tough defeat, and she went and made herself a better pitcher. Christina, I thought Christina looked good. I thought Christina did some good things. And I think she can build on that momentum. I thought Jordan was to tell the two stories. She just has to find a way to be consistent. That's been what she struggled with. And then Kylie, I thought Kylie, I'm still betting on Kylie. I still think Kylie's gonna surprise me. So I guess to answer your question, I believe in all 4 of those kids. And I think it's going to take all 4 of them if we're going to do what we need to do. I've said that from the beginning. And I still believe it. Now more than ever.
What about going from that, and then now you're back and trying to finish up a conference race against a team like, they beat you here in the last few years.
Yeah.
So they're not going to be, I'm sure they're going to compete very well. So what about just that mindset of going back into that?
Well, that's never our mindset. And that's never been our mindset, Kevin. And we've never prepared or gone up and down or game plan for an opponent. Tony says it all the time, and I say it all the time. We both of us say the same thing all the time. You're playing against the game. The game is hard enough to play without worrying about the opponent. When you're failing 7 out of 10 times, no matter who the opponent is, you're playing the game. You're playing that little yellow ball. And Monroe can sweep us. And people can say, oh, that'll let down. No, that's not true. That's crazy. We didn't have a letdown before we went up there against App State. We didn't have a letdown traveling out there. It's the game. It's a tough game. How do you get back in it? You know, they know the game. The season is a grind, and these kids are grinding, man. They're grinding. Hopefully, y'all see that. Hopefully, we all see and appreciate that these kids are grinders. Man, I love this group. I love this team. I love this group. If we get swept this weekend, it's not going to be because they didn't put forth the effort or the attitude or they don't have the desire or they didn't work hard or they're not focused. Ain't going to happen. I can promise you that. That ain't going to be the reason. Maybe because the coach is goofy. It ain't going to be because they're not focused on what they need to be focused on. I can promise you that.
Coach, your pitching staff, you talked about having confidence in them. Do those pitchers have to be grinders? Do they have to be mentally tough when they're dealing with your own hitters during inter-squad scrimmages? Just the challenge they face every day dealing with these hitters in-house, does that make them mentally tough and make them grinders?
You know, our hitters have exposed our pitchers in inter squads, and our pitchers have exposed our hitters. It's a good back and forth, and it's a good competition, and when you have that level and that competitiveness against each other, it allows for some growth and some development. So I think that's exactly what goes on.
And as kind of a follow-up to that, what role, Lisa Norris, what role does she play as far as, what part does she have in all of that as far as the development of the pitching staff?
Lisa is a huge contributor to the pitchers and the hitters, all of our staff. All of our staff. Lisa throws to the hitters. Lisa's in the bullpen with the pitchers. You know, Lisa, the reason why we brought Lisa here was because she played at North Carolina. And Steph, my wife, coached at North Carolina for a year. And when she was at North Carolina, she coached Bev Smith. And Bev coached Lisa. Bev is now the head coach in South Carolina. So philosophically, there was some consistency in what we do here, pitcher-wise, and have done here pitcher-wise. Our pitching system is 100% based off of Stephanie Lotief. She devised it. She's created it. It's her system. And Lisa feels comfortable in it. It's where she cut her teeth. It's what she's done. It's where she wanted to come to continue to learn and progress as a coach. So it's a win-win. It's good philosophically for what we want to do. It's good for her for what she wants to do professionally too. And it's good for our pitchers as they grow and as they continue to develop and get better.
Michael, how are you feeling? Give us an update, and could you possibly make the road trip up to Monroe?
I'm going to Monroe. I mean, I'm saying I'm going, but I'm glad. 40 hour, the reason why I didn't go to Oregon is I can't get on the plane. 40 hours is too much, and I didn't go to Boone, too much. But I can make it to Monroe. 3 hours, I can handle that. And, you know, it's just when I came from the radio show, and I feel for my team right now. You know what I mean? Like, I know what they're going through. I know what they put in and invested, and I know what their expectations were going to Oregon. And you know, the circumstances didn't turn out like they wanted it to. And it's just like with an illness. It's not the circumstances. You know, that's what we're talking about. It's not the circumstances. It's how you got to deal with it. Where you're at mentally. Where's your mind? How you going to compete? How we got to love and support them. Believe in them. You can't label them. I mean, those kids are hard on themselves. Those are kids crying, upset, distraught, blaming themselves. That's tough, man. Tough to be 19, 20 years old and put so much importance and significance on a game and then not do your best and be that disappointed and think that you disappointed your sister. And can't label them. Can't criticize them from the outside. They need our love and support, just like I do. To fight. You need the love and support so you can keep fighting. You don't need to be labeled and criticized and beat up, and you can't beat yourself up. I see the analogy, but I feel for those kids, and I know how hard they've worked since August, and I know how far they've come, and I know what their expectations are for themselves and each other. And then to not have your best performance at that moment, they're struggling with it a little bit. So we'll have fun and pick them up and do what we do. When I get out there for the next 3 or 4 hours, that's my escape. You know, for some of y'all, it's getting on a boat, and I mean, that is my escape. And we get ready to go have some fun. I get to escape. They get to escape. We get to be together. Get to go back after it. All right, guys.
Thank you, Coach.
Let's go escape.